Hello Pisces, thanks for joining me for the June of 2021 Taroscope with Animal Totem. There's so much astrology going on this month, and we're also going to dip into some of that. But first let me tell you that this is vickieverlie, the rock and roll prophetess. I do psychic tarot and astrology for many years professionally. We're going to use the rock and roll tarot deck for the main portion of the reading, and then we're going to pull a card from the Animal Beast Mistress, Animal Oracle cards. Both of these are my own design and creation. If you're a level 2 Patreon supporter, there's going to be 3 additional cards pulled, and this month it will be from the Luna Soul Tarot. Okay, so that'll be coming up later for our Patreon peeps, but let's go ahead and get into our reading. This is going to be our Pisces reading for the month of June of 2021. Pisces Sun, Pisces Rising, Pisces Moon. The cards have been shuffled in between the video, and now I'm just going to do a very loose shuffle to pull out the cards that are meant for our, I keep wanting to say Scorpio, and I do know that we are reading Pisces, but I keep wanting to say Scorpio. So some of you are going to be dealing with a Scorpio this month, or it could be, there could be things going on that relate back to Scorpio time, which would have been back in November, which I think we might have had some eclipses then. So those are the 2 big things that are going on, by the way. We've got an eclipse. We're right in the middle of eclipse season. We had an eclipse on the 26th, a lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and now we're going to have the solar eclipse June 10th in the sign of Gemini. So this is all squaring to your Pisces energy, and squares create fiction and make things happen. So things could be happening at this time for you. The other big thing that's going on is we're going to have the solstice this month too. And the solstice is a big deal. It's a change of seasons. It's a shift in energy. It's a change in seasons. It's the birth of a new season. And I do have those solstice readings, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later. But let's look at your cards here right now. The very first card is the 5 of Rods in reverse. So this is talking about something where there was a lot of struggle, not having so much struggle right now. Let me see if I turn off this light if it's too dark. Is that too dark? I think that's better. Yeah. Not having as much struggle as maybe we had in the past. A situation that there was a lot of friction with, smoothing out and being resolved. And you're not, with the 8 of Swords in reverse, it's talking about not having to worry about it as much anymore. It's not such a burden. Burdens are being released, and you're ready to step your foot upon a new path. Well, you don't have, there's probably not going to be much of a better time this year with the new moon eclipse and then the solstice. And the solstice is also in the sign of Cancer, which is a trine or a very harmonious energy for you as well. But notice about leaving stuff behind. Look at the Fool. He only carries that little tiny sack. He's not carrying a lot of baggage. He's free. He's got his little dog here, and he's ready to go off in this new direction. You do have the 2 of Rods down here, and this is also an excellent card of just seeing the direction you want to go in, having a plan, having a viable plan. A plan that's going to work with the universe, seeing the road or the path that you can walk down. And a lot of times this eclipse energy will do that too. It'll like clear things out for you and show you the way. Something's been taken away from you that that you're not happy about, but sometimes the universe will push us, and it's behind this 2 of Rods. So it's like something has been taken away or lost, but maybe that's a good thing. And it may have even occurred around that lunar eclipse back on the 26th of May. But now you're clear, you see what you have to do. This is no longer viable, but now you see a path that is viable. Some of you might be going back to school. Some of you may pick up some skills that you learned in school from a long time ago. You already have some masterful, they're talking about masterful, or master of skills, or masters of something. You've mastered something. And for some of you, like, you've mastered this and it just wasn't being utilized in that last situation. And for others of you, you've mastered it, but then you just ended up, a lot of people do that. We go to school for something we love, and then we end up just getting some kind of a job that isn't really fulfilling us, just kind of, paying the bills or whatever. So there's been some kind of a big shift or shake-up going on for a lot of people. And I think you in particular are going to be, affected in this way. I moved those cards. Now I got to move the camera a little, but I think I was getting some shadow there. I'm doing these at night. I'm trying not to get too much shadow, which is interesting too in itself. Shadow, like the shadow work. But anyways, down here you've got this 6 of Cups in reverse. So this is saying that the old way is not going to work. The old way's not going to work anymore. You lost out in that old way. And it's like you're really reclaiming your power too right now. You're reclaiming your power and you're taking control back to your life and being the master of your own destiny. I'm going to write that, reclaiming your power, as your headline. Because I never remember them after if I go back and try to do it later, I never remember. For those of you who are looking for love, there's definitely some kind of love energy on the horizon here. Now we've got this earth sign person. Now there's no gender in these general readings. This would be whoever you might be attracted to. Earth, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, right next to the soulmate card. Look at that. And that would be telling us too, for some of you, this might be some old relationship and that it's just not going to work out anymore between the old relationship and here comes this new love interest. But our soulmates, as you know, are not always just our lovers, you know. And the Knight of Pentacles, and in fact all the Pentacle people, besides meaning that they're earth signs, often this will talk about somebody that you are involved in some financial way. So it could be a business partnership of some sort who's also a soulmate. But you have the Two of Rods and the Two of Cups. So these are both cards of partnerships and soulmate energy, you know, going forward, working with another. This is going to be a time of, there's people, you know, there's multiple people on a lot of these cards. There's 3 people on this card, people here, a couple people here. This is a 2-2 partnerships. So there's a lot about, you're going your own way, but it won't be for long because you're going to be connecting up and working, finding your soulmate or your soul tribe here too. Maybe I should put that, or soul tribe. Finding your soul tribe. I like the way that sounds, don't you? Finding your soul tribe, yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling our animal tone card for our Pisces friends. I wanted to let you know, though, real quickly, that I am offering those ingress readings, and those are very powerful to see what's coming up for the upcoming season. They're always my most popular readings of the year. I offer them for a limited time. It'll be available till the end of this month. It's the birth of a season, and we look at it how it, you know, how it lines up with your chart, and you also get an animal totem card. And you know, many people order them every, you know, on the quarter, every year, every season. They are very popular and they're very insightful. So if that interests you, you'll be able to find that information below. So let's go ahead and get that animal totem card for our Pisces friends for the month of June. The rabbit. Rabbit is fertility, abundance. It's also a card of showing us leaping forward. Okay, because the rabbit jumps and leaps. Okay, let me read what I wrote initially. Sensitive, artistic, clever, nimble, outsmarting adversaries by staying one step ahead. Taking colossal leaps and sprinting into the future. Heightened libido and procreation. Yeah, it's definitely a card of sexuality too. Has to do with sexuality and procreation. So for those of you that are, you know, getting into some kind of a new romantic entanglement, you know, if you're of the age of childbearing age, you know, you could, there could be, you know, you could be creating babies too. But, you know, it's also whatever you're doing this path towards. I moved it up a little bit. Usually I put it there, but I can see that it's getting us some glare, so I just moved it up a little bit. You know, whatever this path that you are setting your foot upon here, with this new direction that you're going and the Fool and everything, it's going to be very abundant and very fruitful and multiply and be very abundant for you. All right, so I mentioned about the readings that are going to be available as solstice reading. I got the journals printed, and I'm so excited to share them with everybody. So this is what they look like, and they're big. They're 8 by 10. They're nice and big. Some are journals those would have lines in them, and then others are just sketchbook journals, and they're you know, just blank pages to do a sketchbook. And what's fun, I have some. I didn't order every single style, but what you could do that might be fun with these hamzas that are unpainted. You know, you might want to go in and you could doodle on the cover and draw on the hamza if you wanted. So these are, you know, there's just some basic designs of my photography and my painting and stuff. And then also, if you are musical and you want some score sheets, I did a whole bunch of these too. And these are Johann Sebastian Bach derived a way to do all the letters of the alphabet. So each one is the word spelled out. This one happens to be piano. and then inside is just, you know, staff paper or manuscript paper. So if you have anybody that's a musician, or maybe even a, you know, child who's taking an instrument, because I have oboes and like orchestra instruments and everything. So check all that out, and I do appreciate you guys, you know, really supporting me on these different things that I do. There's a couple more styles I didn't, like I said, I didn't order everything, but you can see that below, and they're very reasonably priced, like $6 and some change. So if that's something that interests you, please do check it out. Thank you all so much for all your support through liking and sharing and commenting and subscribing if you enjoy my content. If you're a level 2 Patreon subscriber, don't forget there's going to be the 3 bonus cards from the Tarot, Luna de Soul Tarot. It's a pretty cool deck. Alright, so thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget about these powerful shifts and changes that are happening at this time. Even if you just don't want to get a reading from me or anything, you should at least maybe light a candle or do some sort of ritual, especially around the solstice. It's with water energy, and you're a water sign, so you may want to, you know, do some kind of thing at that time frame, which by the way is on the 20th. In most cases, it could vary, you know, in different countries, but it's right around the 20th. You know, it's the solstice. So that's also a very powerful time for creation, and a very powerful time to set your foot on a new path. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Be up next with the Patreon readings. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best ever month of June. So many powerful energies are at work. I wish you all the best. Much love, and we'll talk to you again soon.